at 11 a.m. And we had the most amazing opportunity to kind of open each class. There goes my gorgeous doll there. There goes my gorgeous doll. We have, we open every class with just a few words about what's going on in the world right now with ourselves, with our families, with those that we know. You know, we just kind of catch up. This week, we have a very, very interesting topic that Miss Melissa, she kind of brainstorms. And this week, she made me think. I had to stop to think about the topic that she had in mind. And it is shame necessary? Is shame necessary? I mean, really ask yourself what that even means. What do you mean? Is shame necessary? And I'm going to let Miss Melissa explain to you what she said to me that opened up this topic for conversation.
Again, is shame necessary? When you really think about that, it's a self-inflicted feeling that we give ourselves. And I thought that was very interesting because I compared it to guilt. And I was like, man, I mean, what is it? How is it beneficial to us in our lives, the way we move through time and space, to be so judgy towards ourselves? It was very insightful to really see that it was something that we associate so many negative feelings with, like depression and just feeling of helplessness. There's just so much. And it's just, again, and then people also say that it is used to regulate social systems, that we need it. I am conflicted, guys. I really feel like, you know, I wanted to get it off my chest and said, let me do it. Let me do it. F shame. That's what I feel about.
But explain to us, because you do all the reading. So what Miss Melissa does is she does a whole lot of research into the things that she wants to do. And I kind of shoot from the hip. With me, it's all about life experience. And I try to absorb the information that she's giving me and then apply it or see where it fit into experiences that I've had in the past. Okay. Explain to everyone what shame is.
It's an unpleasant, self-conscious emotion, often associated with a negative self-evaluation. It's really the way we perceive ourselves. And it's innate. It's something that's in us. I thought it was something that was maybe taught, you saw it around you, but it's definitely something that's just in us. And then I could see how it would be used to regulate social systems. I get it, but is it necessary? Can't we just identify that we did something wrong? We made a mistake. Then what? Then learn from it and do it better next time. Why must I feel the shame, that guilt that holds us back? Shame and guilt holds us back from so many things, from exploring new experiences. It is so vital. And just to identify it, see it in your life. How does that come across? Please, Wendy, how does that come across for you?
Okay, now when you said to me shame, I had to really just stop. You stunned me for a moment because you said that why do we shame others? Yeah. You know, people shame us and in turn we do it in return. My question was, is shame, well, no, I believe that shame is indoctrinated. You know, we are raised that way. We are taught what is right and what is wrong, and we are shamed for the times that we do things that are wrong. So for me, it is a learned behavior. The question is, and we pose this to anyone who is here in the room with us, is
give us insight.
Do you believe that shame is learned or instinctual? Is it a feeling that we are just born with, our moral compass? How do we know what is right and wrong? Now, when you're born and when you're raised, you really don't know what is right or wrong. We are taught what is right and what is wrong. If you remove those lessons when you're growing up, do you really understand what shame is when you don't know what right or wrong is? And how do you determine that? So where does shame come from? Is shame something learned because you are taught right from wrong? Or is it a gut feeling?
It's a
Like,
gut feeling.
instinctual. So when we're hungry, our stomach growls. When
Yeah.
we're thirsty, our throat gets dry.
Yes.
How do we know? How is shame instinctual? And I know that you read something that said it was just an emotion that that it's built in. And
But
I
it's
just
built
don't.
in. That's what they say, that it's actually built in and not necessarily learned. I mean, where you really think about it, like little kids, they look up, they don't know if it's wrong or right, but something in them made them feel a way. Their reaction towards, what went on just makes them behave different. And that's where the behavioral shame comes in, or body shaming. But that's where it comes in. It's like to correct the behavior, but it seems to be derived from something internal. So I am definitely asking those out there, just how has it come across to you in your life? How have you felt it? How have you addressed it? If anything, please, please, please chime in.
Now here's something else when it comes to shame. So again, in my personal belief, we are taught right from wrong as we're raised. Our parents, our elders, our siblings react to
Mhm.
a behavior that we've displayed,
Yep.
and they will either show dislike
Yes.
or approval, right?
Yep.
Approval or disapproval.
Of course.
But this is by their personal moral compass, or their
Yeah.
personal experience, or their learned behaviors, or the way they've received their information, their
Yep.
education, the way they've been raised. Who's to say that theirs is right over mine? And why?
Is it? That's why I
Again,
said.
for me, it's learned.
Yes. Is it learned? It's like some say that the point of shame is our inability to change. I think that's nuts. Like deep rooted in the ether, in our DNA, like our inability to change. And it's like, what? I mean, there's so many different perspectives, but what I really came across in the feeling of it, it don't feel good. It absolutely makes me feel like garbage. And it's not like guilt, because it seems like guilt makes you like feel terrible about what you did, where shame makes you feel terrible about who you are. And that just don't jive well with me. That like literally rubbed me the wrong way. And I really wanted to investigate and just hear from everybody just to see, we got some words here.
The
I
mind
love
is
it.
all in the mind. Then you're raised to believe that, for example, you're a girl and you should do what a girl does and should do, or shame on you, but when you are confident, you don't let your mind. I can't read the rest there.
Confidence, you
Um,
just tell your mind, right?
yes. So again, it has a lot to do. Too much. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it, Lydia. I get it. It is a lot, but this is that conversation.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned shame and how it makes you feel. So what it sounds like is, and when we have these conversations, it kind of opens up perspective.
Yeah.
You're tying shame into insecurities.
Which I thought it was. I thought that was. Again, I thought it was just an insecure thing, but it's just you feeling really bad. Like, I don't know, just giving yourself more grief about the mistake you made, like almost chastising yourself over and over again. Like, I'm not sure. It's just, it's a self-inflicted feeling. That's what I do know for sure. And it's sort of like that, flagging yourself. You're just basically, you're chastising yourself again and again for no reason. Because once you look at the thing that you're plagued with, then you have to just kind of view it as a mistake and see how you can do it better. So that's why I said with you, your perspective, the way you grew up, like, I know it seems different. So what do you really feel about it?
We discussed earlier that why do people feel like they have the right to shame someone else? And I had to think about, do I do this to people? And unfortunately, the truth is that I have. And I had to think about it. Have I shamed another person, and why have I done it? Yes, I have shamed someone else. Did I have the right to do so in my own warped train of thought? I did, and I'll explain why I felt that way.
Right.
If I am a huge defender of the underdog. Yeah. I am disgusted by watching another person tear down another because they feel that they are above the other person. The other person is weaker than they are. They have the opportunity, and they'll berate them, or they'll embarrass them, or they'll just talk to them in a way that they know that they can get away with because the other person is not going to defend them. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stomach it. My entire life has been, and anyone who's ever seen me with a crazy outburst, they'll say that I'm a bully. But they have no idea where it came from or what the situation was and why I stepped up. And I refuse to explain myself to anyone, because the person that I stepped for knows why I did it and the timing of it. Because I cannot, if I see a person that can't defend themselves and they are being just destroyed, because it ties into your mental health, it ties into your own personal securities, it ties into your confidence. I mean, it's all of that.
Yes.
And I don't understand why a person feels like they have the right to say that that person is less than they are because they're not living by their personal standards. And that for me is an issue. So yes, I have shamed other people, and for that reason, I'll be around family members and they'll start rah, 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 and I'm like,
that's what happens.
Does it affect, what does it have to do with your household? If it doesn't affect what's going on underneath your roof, then what business is there of yours? Or why does it matter to you? Or so what?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you. So what? And I might turn around and say, well, how about when you did this?
Right.
Or how about when you did that? You didn't like it when somebody else said that to you. Why would you do that? And maybe I need to just kind of step back and not say anything, but I doubt it because I can't help myself.
At times, neither can I.
I can't. It makes me sick to my stomach because I don't care. It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't add value to my life.
Does not add value.
So, we come back to shame. Is it necessary?
Is it though? Again, I thought it was so interesting about it being used to regulate us. I think that's so defining. Like, to regulate us? Like, is it because we can't regulate ourselves that somebody really felt that this is a tactic to be able to, I guess, get their agenda? Like it just seemed very out of place. I felt very uncomfortable when I felt the difference between the guilt and the shame. And I really wanted to dig into that subject, even if we're just surfacing it, like Lydia said. It's so much to talk about. You can't get it all done in 30 minutes, but it's so important for us to even be aware about that, because then we can start to recognize how it really plays a role in our life. Sister, how do you think that shame has affected you, either positive or negative?
So you said you have guilt and you have shame. Guilt is something that is it makes you self-aware. You are aware that you have done
something wrong.
And this is your personal battle. Yes. Shame is when someone else from the outside drops what they think you should feel guilty about. But you mentioned regulating.
No.
Okay, so the pros and cons, and I have to do it that way. I have to try to justify what I do.
That's right. Let's do
it. When you shame someone,
it.
because in your mind you're seeing the wrong of it, but not everyone sees it that way.
Right.
Some people are just obnoxious, and they are self-righteous, and they're pompous, that they believe that they are the right way and that's the only way.
Only way.
And they're the only one who thinks that, because if you look at your surroundings, not you personally, but if you listen to that person speak, and you look at the friends that they have or the lack thereof, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If someone is out there shaming someone else, stuff down your throat,
yeah,
ask yourself, do they have friends? What kind of friends do they have?
Yeah.
And how long do they stick around?
What kind of relationships do they have? Exactly.
And then I look at others that actually make sense in the points that they're trying to make. They're not obnoxious about how they're coming across, but they are trying to communicate a perception.
Yeah, that for sure.
Of something that they should maybe just shift it 15 degrees and take a look at it from another angle. And do you still feel that way? Do you still think that what you're saying is the right thing? And are you receiving it the same way? Again, life is all about, and we talk about this on perception. It's how you perceive it and how the other person receives it.
Exactly. And assessing every situation and judging it, by itself, not so much by our preconceived ideas. A lot of the times I know I've been trained. I grew up thinking that way and just feeling that way. So now I'm so much more aware, and I'm catching these things and assessing things as they're happening. And it's really neat because it really shows you how you move, how you think, how you judge, how you don't, what you care about, what you don't. It's so important for us to really evaluate those things within us, because I think that really helps with the growing, self-healing, mental health, physical health. I think once a lot of those blocks are cleared from our mind, we tend to do life stronger. I see it firsthand in my life. So that's why these type of subjects are so important, because they hit home. I am 49 years old and I'm just coming to terms with shame is. It's a lot. It gives you something to think about, and it just really makes me want to, I don't know, just change what I like, change to what I want to be, make it better.
I think where you are in life has an effect of how the level of shame that you allow yourself to feel. Yes. Now, when you're younger and you're being raised and you're being shamed, you're being made to feel ashamed, that is something that you grow up with. That's deep. That it takes you years to work through something that you should have been ashamed, or maybe not so much, because where it came from was a very hypocritical place. Yeah. And it's only now as adults that you look back and you're like, damn, it wasn't that serious for them to make me feel like I was less than the ground that we stand on. It wasn't necessary. And because you're so emotional and you're so vulnerable when you're little, those acts, and I'm guilty of it. I've received it as a child. I dealt it out as a parent. My children still suffer from some of it because they bring it up, and it's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Until we learn how to self-reflect, yes, it's very difficult for you to break that cycle in taking it and giving it.
It really is. Think about it, because you're looking at things in a different window. So it's like, although defaults come up and you want to attack a situation like you always have, but you just know better now. You really can see that can really do damage. I just, again, surprised out of my mind on how destructive.
There's a comment from YPDW. Like, why did I even care or give it energy?
That's the most simplistic viewpoint. I mean, that's so beautiful. But in the moment of feeling a thing of shame, like I could bring up for instance, we were at the social hub, and for many years, although I felt I was easy on the eyes, family members from little, you're not photogenic. So that played such a part in me not wanting to really participate in our cool experience with the pictures there, just because I had this back feeling of, they're right, you're really not. And that really could have held me back. And I really, assessing it just really made me be like, you know what? That was then, this is now. I'm here to judge me. And what I feel is beautiful. And I really just want to take an opportunity and show myself I am beautiful. No matter what or who thinks what. That's what
that is right.
So liberating, girl. It was just really nice to know that. And experiencing whatever in your life that you may be held back from, just really try and find a way to navigate through it, man. It is so, again, liberating.
Yeah.
Janice in the house.
That it takes a lot. I was the caterpillar. You know, I tell people when you go back in my photos, I look like a dirty Q-tip. I was that little. I had little, you know, the little brown fuzzy hair on top. I was so skinny, and no one took the time to talk to me. I was invisible. So being invisible and learning what shame is,
Yeah,
it dug me into a really just dark, deep hole. And it took me my entire life to walk through a journey that I'm still working on me. I'm in a great place now, but it took me 48 years before I started climbing out.
yes.
I'm in a wonderful place today.
Oh, thank you. Just like Lydia saying that keeping God in your heart, that is so right. That piece right there literally allows you to get over a lot of obstacles.
Yeah.
Okay? That is so true right there. But yes, that's
So, you know, Lydia saw me grow up. You know, she saw me when I was a little girl. You know,
she said you were so cute.
that's my aunt.
Of course she's gonna say I was cute.
She was one of the kind people. She was one of the kind people.
Thank you, sweet Titi.
She was kind to me when I was growing up, you know, and I remember her always wearing these beautiful clothes, and she had this fabulous long hair, and I was like, when I grow up, I want to be like that. You know, I wanted to be like that. And you know, she's living her life the way she sees fit. But like the rest of us, that's why this conversation is so important. Each and every one of us has walked a difficult journey. So as perfect as your lives may be, and I pray that there's someone that's watching right now that has had it wonderful, but we each have had experiences that have helped shape us, you know, and we're finding our way. And yes, Lydia, you mentioned experience and the wisdom that you gain, but you don't gain that alone. You gain it from your community, from the women and men around you, the ones that help shape your train of thoughts and how to grow. They are your supports. And I urge everyone that you've got to have a team, or that one person that you can turn to. And if you don't, there are services out there that you can just speak to an anonymous ear. Absolutely. Just to help get that out. Because anytime that you're feeling uncomfortable and ashamed, guilt, whatever, anything, the more you speak it out, the easier it becomes, and you begin to let it go.
Show me. Go to location services settings, privacy settings.
That okay.
Where we going?
Siri was talking to me. She's not my friend. I don't like her. She gets me lost all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
me
like
too.
her.
1 or 2 times at least.
She
Miss
likes my
White,
husband. She doesn't like me.
Miss White, with her, that kindness, that's the kind of kindness that really, really penetrates and make a difference. That's the support that we need. That's what this community is all about. Really just us being able to talk it out and be there. I love this. I really do. I really feel that we can gain so much insight because, again, we hear their hearts. We see what it is that you go through. We go through it, and we're, that's what makes it so beautiful. It really, really is. It's awesome to grow. I love growing.
The question is shame necessary? No. Shame is not necessary.
For nothing at all, for anything at all, not even just for like.
So yes, I understand regulating, but I think that we need to approach it in a different way. And it's never gonna happen, but it's nice to talk about the what ifs, that we could approach someone. Not everyone is receptive to conversation. Not everyone is receptive to another opinion or a train of thought. But like church, we go to church for an hour or 2 or 3, whatever church, whatever denomination it is that you visit. And in that entire time, there will be one word or one sentence that touches you, that was meant for you. And that is your message. You're walking around with one message. So in life, when we look at shame, and I'm talking about kindness and the small pockets of kindness that were extended to me, that when I felt like I was drowning, it was those pockets of kindness that helped me keep my head above the water.
Man.
And it helped shape the direction of who I wanted to be and how I wanted to treat other people when I was coming up. And know me, I am not perfect. I have all sorts of issues, and I have done things that I shouldn't have. And I'm trying to be a better person today. And I want to share that with other people so that they too can just have these conversations, and let's pay it forward, and maybe it'll help change someone else's perspective.
Absolutely. Again, I got more than anything, let's really stop evaluating ourselves so harshly. If we can't stop, at least nip it in the bud. When you see it and you find that it's not necessary, just nip it in the bud, assess it, and remove it. I promise you, it has helped me like at least 2 times this week, and it's not even over, it's only Wednesday. Damn it. So that's why I said it really works. Assessing it from afar without my emotional connection to it really allows me to be like, do I need it? Remove. Thank you very much. I wish I had this skill when I was younger.
I was at work today, and there's someone at work who just doesn't care for me at all. And I'm okay with that. Not everyone's going to like me at work. I'm a very, very aggressive personality. I am very firm and very direct. And, and unapologetic. Oh, no, I take that back. No. If I see that a person reacts negatively because I've been a little too direct, because it's just the way that I am, I will stop and acknowledge and apologize and try to redirect that delivery and try to fix it. But there's just someone at work that is just doesn't handle women in authoritative positions. Like they don't handle that well at all. It's that kind of person. And I started to go in like, and then in mid-sentence, I shut my mouth and I said, you know what? I need to pray. I was like, I need to let it go. And I have to remember that what's going on with that person is not my problem. That is something very personal that person is dealing with. And at the end of the day, it's not because of me. It started somewhere, and he needs to figure that out on his own.
Numbing. Wendy, I think that's the easiest approach to everything. Where I, again, was super reactive to be able to be like, you know what, like I told you the other day when we were having that conversation, let me pray about it. I got to take a moment and pray about it, for real, for real. I can't just give regular answers. I got to really know what I want because it's got to be my way. I'm way too old to just settle for the BS. You got to do it the way you need to do it. Hello, hello.
So what she's referring to, really quickly before we go, I gotta share. When you have your people,
Yeah.
or even a stranger and you're having a conversation, and you are both expressing your opinions, and the other person is not receiving what you are giving as you intended, you have to switch up the approach. So with Miss Melissa, there was something that she was asked to do, and she just shut down and she was like, no. And I was like, oh wait, hold up. I was like, yes, you are. I was like, and this is the way you're gonna do it. She was like, nope. I was like, wait. I was like, wait. I was like, but think about it this way. I was like, what emotion does this provoke? And she wouldn't answer. And then I said, okay,
I can't.
think about it this way. And look at it this way. Still no answer. It took me 4 tries for her to finally say, okay, I know how I'm going to do it. All right.
Okay. And I struggled through it. It was really a tug of war. It was so real. And I just knew that I just had to assess it. And having someone there, support team is everything, y'all. Having somebody to give it to you in so many different ways allowed me to peel it and make it not look so scary. And I did it.
I had to take my girl to church. And I had to do it in different denominations for her to see which one she was going to receive.
Just a highlight. Wendy compared boxing gloves with ballerina slippers. And I was like, he's talking my language. Damn it. Okay, now I understand what I got to do. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's what I'm talking about. Having a support team, having a platform to go ahead and share and connect and really get results in real time. Guys, this is the best. I'm so excited we have this.
Well, here's our message to you. If you are being shamed and you are the person that we're having this discussion about on this side, understand that you are a grown adult. And for you to determine what you're doing is right or wrong. You have your own moral compass that you live by. And really ask yourself those questions. If I was in this position and if I was receiving what I was dishing out, you okay with it? How would I feel? And then you can decide if it was worth having received that, if it was warranted, or if that person was just outright out of place. And the same on the other. Before you shame someone and you tell them something that express an opinion about something that they did and it didn't sit well with them, pull back.
Yes.
Readdress it, but in a different way. Now, if you want someone to see your opinion, then give them different layers so that they can sift through it and see if something resonates with them. And walk them through the process and share. Allow them to express themselves and kind of have those conversations and debate and figure out and see what value you can take away from it and how you can grow from it.
Yes.
That's where wisdom comes from. It comes from shared experiences and finding a different way, opening your eyes to the world rather than yours alone.
Amen. That's beautifully said, sister. That's exactly right. And having this ability to just kind of assess it in that way is everything, guys. We move and we grow together. And it's a beautiful thing when you really, really want to do it. Just apply what you learn. That's the biggest thing. A lot of us hear so much information, but we don't apply. Just apply it. One thing at a time. I'm telling you, it works. It works. I love it.
But we're not going to take any more of your time. Thank you for joining us. We are Crunkfit. I am Wendy.
I am Miss Melissa, and just remember, guys, practicing feeling good is everything, and protecting your peace with all you have is all that I ask. Blessings and love to all of you. Que Dios me lo bendiga todito. God bless you, and until next time. Wendy, please tell them about the class on Saturday that I have to
Be
see.
sure. But this is What's Up Wednesdays. We are here every Wednesday. We choose a different topic. We talk about real life in real time. If there's a topic that you have on your mind that you want to talk about, feel free to DM us. We're at Crunkfit, where you are right now, at Crunkfit_. We are here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Saturdays, we have this great free online class, live, IG, every Saturday, 11 a.m. We build workouts for everyday living. You don't have to keep up. We've been doing this for a while. But all we ask is that you show up and two-step it the entire way.
That's
until
right.
You find your way, and you'll be doing the class just as well as we do.
Absolutely.
So show up. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. From our Crunkfit family to yours, have a blessed week.
Yes.
Much love, and we'll see you next week.
Until next time, y'all.